My name is Peter Rosenberg, and in the building, a couple of people you've heard many times before. If you're a regular listener to the Real Late program, my man Lord Monte Ogbin in the building.
Yo,
what's popping?
How you feeling?
It's a pleasure, man. Pleasure to have you up here, man. Been playing your tunes now for a few years.
I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you for the support.
Of course, bro. And of course, my guy, you may have heard him on the Real Late album, and you will hear him again on Real Late 2 whenever I eventually finish this album. My man Buck Dudley in the building.
Yo, what's good?
What's good, man? How are you guys? You got an album out together.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Highly favored.
Highly favored. Yeah, just dropped in March.
Pull that mic nice
2nd.
and close, Buck.
All right.
Don't act like a producer. Pretend you're a rapper today.
I know. I hate it.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, this is your time. You have to rep for yourself.
First off, Buck, you set the tone of the album with the production.
Yeah, yeah. So you set it off right now. How did the Highly Favored project come together?
Well, like a lot of things that happen sort of in this realm of hip hop, it happened at Mark Top Shelf Premium's shop.
Okay.
I heard Jamonte was in town, and he's one of the few artists I was really eager to sort of work with and meet.
Why?
He's a different type of creative rapper. He's not just like your standard issue rappity rap.
No.
Rah type shit.
No.
He's got just vivid album track titles, ad libs, different than anyone else's, and the bar work speaks for itself. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, for people who haven't heard Jamonte Ogbin before, man, you are a different kind of MC, and maybe people have seen you on Top Shelf with Mark, or heard your music on Relate, or just checked out your music streaming. Who would you cite as influences? I've been curious about that with you, because you are different. You do occupy even in this underground world that we're all kind of in and around. You do have a different style. Anyone in particular you cite as an influence?
I have a lot of influences, honestly. Redman, There's a Dark Side album. That album influenced me a lot as far as productions and his personality, like the character he brings to records. Yeah.
Shouts to Reggie, by the way.
My man Redman, like he.
And There Is a Dark Side Redman is
too.
That's different.
It's a different Redman. Yeah, like Redman's character.
It's like a persona.
Yeah. Redman's character sort of evolved as the years went on, and now we have like a different. This is like the grown-up adult working out, health positivity Redman. Right. But There Is a Dark Side Redman was a different kind of cat.
Zev Love X too. Like when Doom went by Zev Love X, like that's.
How did you get down with music from this era so hard?
Listening to the Poor Righteous Teachers. Yeah, I had a friend that was heavy on Poor Righteous Teachers, and he put me on Wise Intelligence, and I would just like search for music that was kind of like in that lane and that vein of things, and I found out about a lot of other people.
How old are you?
I'm 29, about to turn
29, about to turn 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, this stuff, this 50-year-old man rap talk you're having right here.
A lot of Jersey representation.
Yeah, and a lot of Jersey. And a lot of Jersey.
I can appreciate that.
Speech, too, from Arrested Development.
Wow.
Arrested Development.
I reached out to Speech recently about getting him on one.
Yeah,
I want to get him on the show, bro. You talk to him at all? Do you know him at all?
Never, no.
Yeah, I feel like Arrested Development's like weird in the sense that they were really big, had a couple of hits.
Right.
And yet don't ever get talked about like in almost any conversation. Right. Like they don't even get talked about in one hit wonder conversation, which would be disrespectful because frankly they had at least one big album and they had really like 3 hits because they had Tennessee, they had Everyday People, and Mr. Wendell was a pretty big record.
Mr. Wendell was a great song.
And Revolution was a great song too.
Yeah.
Like they had joints, but no one talks about Speech and Arrested Development.
My dad would bump Mr. Wendell when I was a kid.
Would he really?
Yeah.
Well, your dad cared for the homeless, or the houseless people. He cared for houseless people
did.
now. Well, and Buck, where are you from originally?
I'm from Jersey.
Where?
Right across the river in Weehawken.
Okay, in beautiful Weehawken, New Jersey.
Weehawken. I can see it
the
from
shadows.
balcony.
Yeah, about to say you really can.
I can.
When you step out on this balcony, you get a beautiful view of your home. And Jamonte, where are you from?
I was born in Ohio, but raised in Charlotte, North Carolina.
And that's where you're at still?
Yes.
Where in Ohio were you born?
Akron, Ohio.
Oh, like LeBron James. You very much are.
Yes.
Just like LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to see Jamonte Ogbin, you'd also think just like LeBron James. I mean, the physique, the height.
We out here.
Yo, can you ever mention being from Akron without the person mentioning LeBron James?
Sometimes, yeah, because a lot of people don't know where that is. Sometimes people are like, where's that? But If they know LeBron James. Yeah. But
Yeah, like if they know anything. Was there anything else anyone says about Akron besides LeBron James? Like someone does know of Akron, but they don't mention LeBron James. Is that a thing?
yeah, they say a quote from In Too Deep, is it?
What?
With LL Cool J. He's like, you from Akron. What the hell they doing in Akron? Selling corn? They say that, but people don't really know.
Wow.
Yeah.
They go straight from LeBron James to N Too Deep.
Yeah.
The Omar Epps LL Cool J vehicle.
Not to take it left, but an incident happened when like the police shot this dude like 99 times, and that was in Akron, I think. Like Jalen Walker or something.
Yeah.
So people might know because of that.
Because of that too. Yeah. Well, you did take it left, but it's a necessary left.
Yeah, but I'm putting on for the city.
And how long you been doing the rapidy rap?
I've been writing since I want to say like 11, 13. Pretty much just writing poems, lyrics down. I started really recording at 14. Like sock in the mic type, you know what I mean? Mic in the sock type thing, instrumentals off YouTube, and just building up from there. I started selling my own music at the store, so that's kind of like where I got like
in Charlotte.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I like learned hustle. I would record and burn it on CDs, like you get
and just bring the burned CDs to the store.
Yes, and people would school the hell out of me, like, yo, you got to get the covers, you got to get this, you got to get this. But I'm like, yo, it's the hustle. I'm out here. I'm selling my music. I had a whole sales pitch, like.
And they were
like to help support your local artists, purchase my, you know what I mean? I had like the whole sales pitch for them, and people would really rock with it. They listen to it, they give me pointers. So I kind of like gained my hustle there. And then
what store was this?
It's called the Chevron on Sugar Creek in Charlotte, North Carolina.
It's still there?
It is still there, jumping the live.
Word? And they sell like records and CDs and all that?
No, they sell just like regular store. I was just outside of their store. I was kicked out a lot of times. Just selling my music in front of their stores. So just
from harassing customers is what you're saying.
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, you didn't try to hit people with the let me put my headphones on your head, did you?
Nah.
I respect. Thank you.
Nah,
Thank you for not doing that.
Some people would like just put it in their whips.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let me tell you, the experience in New York, Buck, I'm sure you know about this, the experience in New York of Times Square hustlers who make you listen to their music. I remember one of the first lessons I had about like all the different ways music is done is I'd gotten up here and I got my job at Hot 97. I'm feeling myself. You know, I made it to Hot 97 now. It's time I get treated with some respect, even though I don't know what I did to earn that respect, but I felt I deserved it. And I would be like walking through Times Square and some person would come and be like, yo, man, you like real hip hop? I mean, in my mind, I'm like, I am real hip hop. What you got? And they'd be like, yo, $10. I'd be like, I work for Hot 97.
Right, after they had stuffed it into your hand.
Right. They're already, because the hustle's already started. It's in your hand. They're about to accuse you of stealing it, you know? So they hand you the CD, and you're like, and I'm like, no. I said, I'm a DJ on Hot 97. Right. When I saw that this didn't register in their brain as anything, it was like, I don't give a fuck. $10. And I'm like, no, sir, excuse me. I'm a DJ. I can give you the opportunity to reach audiences. Right. And I was like, oh, these cats don't care about that. This is literally just a hustle to force people to buy the CD.
They ain't even rapping on it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe they were just blanks or it was someone else's burned mixtape. I don't know. I know they didn't care about their name getting out. They weren't even telling me their name. Right. All they had was the line. Yeah, I want to find out now. I wonder if they were all real artists or if some of them were straight frauds.
A lot of them were all Wu-Tang affiliates.
That was a move too?
Yeah, of course.
Yo, and you know the people who got off right off the bus, no disrespect, from Akron, Ohio. They were there like, oh my God, I met someone from Wu-Tang. This guy said he knows it. He said he's Inspector Deck's cousin.
Right, exactly.
I bought 3 of his CDs. He autographed them for me.
I bought a CD out there before.
You did? How trash was it?
Put it in my hand, just like you said. They gave it to me. I'm like, oh, good luck. Then they're like, nah.
Then you got bullied?
Run that. How much? Nah, because I'm from that, though. You feel me?
Right.
So
You understood it. So did you not feel bad?
I'm all like, yo, how much? And then he gave me the price. But when I seen it, you can flip the CD back and you can tell it's a circle around it, like tell you how much time on the CD, like you know what I mean. So
like the rings of a tree.
Yeah, it's never.
Oh, and you could see it wasn't much.
Yeah. It wasn't no music on there. So
it was blank.
Yeah, they got off. Yeah.
That's terrible. That's not right. It's just simply wrong. Should we play something off this project?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you guys have a personal preference?
I think Ja might.
Ja, talk to me. Talk to me cleanly. What should we listen to?
Either Pending Case or My Old Plug Still Pussy. I feel like My Old Plug Still Pussy. That's the leading single.
Yeah. Facts.
I'm glad that you went with a lead single with such a commercial title.
Yes.
That'll run right up the charts.
Yeah, I got flagged.
I learned something from naming the song title that. Like,
What do you mean? What'd you learn?
Nobody picked it up. And I'm like, yo, why no press is picking this album up? And it just wasn't hitting me until I looked at the title of the song.
Until it got flagged on YouTube.
It was before that. When I looked at the song, I was just like, yo, this is wild.
Yo, you know what's particularly ridiculous about you naming it that song, which messes up its algorithm and makes it hard because there's a curse in it? It's not even a dirty song.
Right.
No.
You barely have a curse in the whole song. That's how you know this man's a genius.
Right.
He's thinking on a different wavelength altogether.
I'll get my vulgarity.
That's
in
how I know
somehow.
it's kind of like, I'm kind of like getting a little bigger because I used to just slide with stuff like this.
What do you mean?
Just like certain titles, you know what I mean? Like, I guess from like a SoundCloud perspective, I could just let
Right.
things slide, but now it's just like getting flack for it. Things are getting flagged.
Well, it started picking up.
Yeah.
Our producer Emilio gave us a whole spiel the other day about the Conway. Our Conway interview had too many N-words in it, and they were like, "Oh, they flagged that." I was like, "But it's Conway who said it. This isn't like racist content."
Right.
And I was like, "I didn't even know that was a thing." Because like back in the day, your interviews could have any sort of foul language. I mean, I know they could find and flag hateful language,
Right.
but like apparently everything now can really get caught up in the matrix if you're. So I guess it would be the same with algorithms and music and stuff like that too. Buck, how did you get into the production of it all?
As a fan, as a young fan, I've been listening to hip hop since I was like 6 years old. I probably got my first taste of hip hop when I copped like Life After Death. I had one of those old like Columbia House CD catalogs. My mom let me get one CD, let my sister get one CD, and I fell in love back then.
Yo, that's old school. The Columbia House joints.
Yeah.
Man, these kids don't know about this. How old are you?
I'm 35.
You're only 35, and you remember
35.
that? I'm surprised you know that.
I mean, I was a kid. I was still.
You were a little kid.
A little kid. Yeah, you're right.
Because like I was of the age that I could have, like, if I had done that, I could have bought them in high school. I mean, I wouldn't have had a way to do it.
Right.
They were like COD maybe. It was all a racket.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like it was a pyramid scheme.
Well, it wasn't a pyramid scheme. It was a scheme in that they would say, get like for 99 cents, you can get
like 12
CDs.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But really what you do is you pay for you pay 99 cents for one,
Right.
and then they charge you like 12 for the other ones if you
Right.
don't pay an X amount of time, and before you know it, they're in you for $150.
Right. So, from back then, I don't know what my mother was thinking, knowing some of the songs on that album, letting me get that album, but she let me get it.
And that was it.
And I fell in love from then. And then, as I got older, I just was looking for a way to get involved in it. And as a corny white guy, I was like, I don't think it's going to be rapping.
Right.
So let me try my hand at producing.
Did you never tried the rap part?
Oh, you know what?
You did.
I wrote some raps. I don't think I ever recorded.
You never recorded
I never
them?
recorded nothing.
I mean, listen, don't knock all the corny white guys who thought they could try rapping first before they figured out other things.
Right.
Judgmental prick.
It didn't.
Some of us had to spit some bars first.
Right.
Do some freestyles. I was like a 14-year-old doo-wop rapping at the beginning of my mixtapes.
Right.
Really, really bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
So you figured out. So then, how do you got equipment? How did you start?
No, not even. So I used, like, my father had an old Mac laptop, and then I just started with like the basics of like chopping up old James Brown records like in GarageBand.
Wow.
Just like what was available to me. So like,
And what would you do with GarageBand? You would just record stuff and chop?
Yeah, you could chop it. You could like time stretch it. You could like add little stock bullshit drums that were in there and stuff like that. So I could make something. Nothing anyone will ever hear.
Okay. And how did you eventually take the step to where you ended up making music for Crime Apple?
Well, I mean, it's kind of a long journey. So, I went to college in Jersey City, and I met a bunch of actual talented rappers who I went to school with. Local Jersey guys from Plainfield, my boy Lyle, my boy Big George, my boy Earl Grey, also from Jersey City. And we just got plugged doing a couple little local shows, and I met Crime at that time. And this is going back like 10, 12 years now.
What was
Just
and
at
Crime
one
was
of
just
these
out there
shows.
hustling, trying to.
Yeah, right. So he was just trying to get music popping at the same time, and then he had heard some music that I had done, and I was like, "Yo, this guy's super talented." In a way, I think that's clear to everybody now that he was just different entirely than anyone just rapping in like a little local underground scene. So we just kept at it. You know, we probably both quit music a couple times. I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult to finally get that look and get the opportunity to really pop. And so when Crime finally did, we sort of came back to it. This is like 2017 now, and we repackaged a lot of the stuff we had been doing, re-recorded it, you know, retooled it, and then we put out like 4 projects at the end of 2017, like the last quarter of 2017, and it was on from there. And he's taken it to new heights since then.
Yeah, he really has, man.
With Muggs and Skiz and just a lot of the guys he's been working with. So shout out to Crime Apple. That's my brother.
Yeah, shout out to Crime Apple. And this project here with Lord Monte Ogben, who's in the building. This is your first time stepping out and doing a project with someone else, right, bud?
It is, like, entirely. You know, I had little one-offs here and there with people, but I prefer to lock in with the artist. And like I said before, Ja is such a unique and talented guy. You know, it's hard to go from Crime to just like some other guys.
Yeah, and I think.
No offense to the other guys.
No, a lot of great other guys. Love the
a lot
other
of good other guys.
Love the other guys.
But you know, the opportunity to tap in with Ja and like build something organically, like I really thrive on working that way. Like, we recorded everything together in person. There was no like.
Where, Charlotte or here?
All in Jersey.
All in Jersey.
We started.
Yeah, man. And Brown.
Yeah. Shouts out to Yard. Shouts out to Brown.
And Ja, you drive up here?
Flight.
Jump on the flight, okay.
Yeah. 1 hour.
Yeah, it's easy.
So, like I said, we met at Mark's shop, and that was like right before COVID popped. Ja was up here doing a little tour, and it got cut short by COVID.
Ja must be a fun person to produce for, too, because he can allow you to do beats that are not that straight ahead.
That's exactly right, actually. He
And he can still find a pocket, which is, a lot of people think they find a pocket, but there's really not a pocket to be found.
Right.
And I'm listening and I'm like, oh, I know I'm supposed to be like abstract and really know where they're hearing the beat.
Right.
But I'm not hearing. That's not where I'm hearing it.
Right.
Jamonte Ogben is like very good at finding the offbeat pocket, but it is in fact a pocket.
Yeah, I'm in the pockets.
He prides himself on finding the pocket
pockets.
too.
Jabot jean pockets.
Yeah, they're everywhere. You don't know, but
grabbing.
but you're gonna find the pocket
I'm
somewhere.
in the pocket. Yeah.
So Ja, what else do you have going on right now besides this project? This joint's popping. What else is next?
I'm starting a tour tomorrow with Brain Orchestra and Nolan the Ninja from Vermont to DC, and then I'm gonna plan a down south tour myself and try to do West Coast, Midwest, and hopefully overseas, you know, and just keep it going, just keep hitting the road and putting out good music and connecting with people.
Can you tell people listening right now who, like, you know, are hearing you right now, and you are definitively, I would say, like an underground quote artist, how you go about doing this? Like, how do you put together tours? You know what I mean? Can you give a little bit of insight on how the business part works when you're an artist who's below the radar but has your fan base out there?
I would say, for me, I was just really watching a lot of different scenes. It's like figuring out who's who, what's what, when and where. I feel like once you know these things, it make it a little easier than just out here shooting to shoot. So I pretty much just find out everything I can about a scene and establish relationships with the artists, and I just figure out where do people throw the shows, who's DJing, how much.
Well, for example, how did you first connect with Mark with Top Shelf Premium? How did that first connection come to be?
I wouldn't say just from knowing Mark's, like, just through his movement, Top Shelf, just coming to. Oh yeah, I came to the show, Supply and Demand.
You came to the Supply and Demand show.
I came to the Supply and Demand, and I met you at that show.
Oh, at the one.
At the one in Chelsea.
At the one in Chelsea.
The one in
right before the pandemic. Yeah, like a few months before the pandemic.
The one in Chelsea.
Yeah.
I met you while you were catching a cab, and you was nice. I'm like, yo. I'm an artist. I'm trying to come up.
I wasn't a dick.
No, you was nice. Like, you gave me an email.
Did you give him a CD?
No, I didn't have it.
You know what's funny story behind the scenes about that? About my own life, because on one app, this is a funny night. That night was very important for me too, because that night I was just starting to get my my swagger back post divorce. Like I'd barely gone out. That was one of the few times like that I started to go out and like be like, hey, I'm gonna go out and be in a good mood. And I was like actually wanted to go out for one of the first times. And I went out. The event was early. I remember it was like I got off work I think at 6:30 that night. The event started early, like 7:30. I went down. I met Mark. I hung out, saw the show, and I was by myself. Mark's like busy doing shit, and I'm just running into artists and chopping it up with people. Had a few drinks.
Right.
And I remember I went home. I got home early, bro. Like I left at like 9 o'clock, something like that.
Early.
And I was just slightly nice, like just felt slightly nice. And I sent an email to an unnamed important person at WWE because I had no longer been with the company. I hadn't been there for like the better part of a year. This like whole shitty year. And that night I was just feeling kind of good. And I was like, you know, I haven't talked to him forever. Let me drop him a line. Boom, 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 boom. Feeling nice on a Friday night. Drop this person the line. To this day, I don't know what happened, but I know that line, that night, is the reason I've been back there ever since.
That was a good night.
It was a good night. Like I heard from someone later that night that was like, oh, hey, I hear people talking about you.
Right.
And I was like, oh, shit. I was not even shooting a shot. That wasn't even shooting a shot. It was just like I got nothing to lose. I don't work there. Who cares? Because I remember thinking, I'm like, I've had a couple of drinks. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I don't work there. I'm just sending someone an email.
Right.
Boop, boop, boop. Here you go. So the point is, kids, every once in a while, after just a couple of drinks, not too many, just to be clear, I wasn't wasted.
Right. This is my mistake.
No. Don't do it, Buck. Don't send it. After the fourth drink, don't send it. But if you're at 2 and change, send the email.
Okay. Good question. How did it feel winning the title?
Oh, bro.
My boy won the title. I used to love WWE. 2002, 2003.
Oh, what's that?
2004.
That's an era right there.
That was my time.
That ruthless aggression.
That was my time.
That Brock Lesnar, John Cena.
That was my time.
Eddie Guerrero.
Everybody.
So no, that day was the best. It was so fun. I literally just today I thought about it. I was like, oh man, I can't believe that happened still. And they retired the title, which made me like sad but also happy because I'm like, now nobody else could get it. Yeah. Like the people who got it. Right. It was crazy, bro.
Oh, that's fire.
The pandemic brought some interesting and in the end and positive things. Look at your guys' project.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And Buck, what's next on the horizon for you, my friend?
So right now I'm working on a project with my bro RLX.
Shouts to RLX, yeah.
RLX out of Lawrence, Massachusetts, Monte crew. So we're about halfway done with that. Really excited for that. It's got him in a different pocket. It sounds a lot different than anything I've done with Crime, a lot different than anything I've done with Ja. So I'm trying to work with a lot of different artists who will allow me to explore different sounds, different textures, different, just different ways of making music entirely. And then other than that, I'm working with Ja still. I had 3 joints on Crime's latest project. You Don't Fuck With Crime 3, just dropped 2 weeks ago.
Crime keeps that music coming, boy.
Yeah, he does.
I'll tell you that. Every time I run out of songs from Crime to play, the email pops up with 3 more songs from Crime to play.
You know what the thing is? It's like, I feel like it's just the way that people digest music now. It's just like the way social media is. You just look at it, flip it, you're on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And it's like that with music. You're not just doing one album every 2 years like you used to be able to do, and then just getting this whole big movement behind it, and people like actually letting people sit and digest the music.
Yeah, you got to keep it. You got to keep moving. For better, for worse.
You got to keep moving. You got to keep doing it to make a living. You got to keep,
Well, you bodied the record on my project too.
Thank you. I appreciate
that. The SRD.
Thank you. That's an honor.
Oh no, dude, you came through. That beat is hard.
Thank you, bro.
You came through. And let me tell you right now, the joint that I cuffed from you already for the next one.
Yes.
That I can't. The thing is, I love it so much that I keep sending it to people who are like very high. I keep shooting for the stars. I keep shooting.
I was in the studio with you actually.
Okay.
And then you had sent me an email. You're like, yo, I'm trying to this person on it. And I was like,
okay. Now listen, I don't know if it end up being one of those people, but I'm like, it's so fire to me that I'm like, I'm gonna just keep waiting and sending it to the right till we make it
Yeah,
work.
I'm sure it's gonna be crazy.
You
whoever
got to
it is.
tap in with Nina Sky for the album.
Ooh,
You got
Wow.
why did that come to your mind?
Cause they got that heat.
That, by the way, that's like
NYC heat.
Well, by the way, you know how doable that is? That's Laura Stiles' best
You
friends.
gotta get that Nina Sky record going.
That's an interesting thought. I know. Yo, look at
I got ideas for you.
Yo, look at Lord
A&R.
Jamonte Albin A&R over here.
I got ideas for you. I don't need no credit. I don't let it hear.
Yo, just for that, if I do get them on a record, I'm gonna make sure I call it something about the plug pussy part 2 in the title.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Go guys, check out the album Highly Favored. It's out right now everywhere. Buck Dudley, Lord Jamonte Ogben.
Get it on Billboard's top 100.
Let's go.
Please keep spinning the album so we can tour it overseas.
We got you. We're gonna play our part over here, and hopefully everyone out there listening will go spin it as well. Thank you guys for coming through.
Thank you for having us.
You know.